right now. I'm going to set. Perfect. We're recording. So welcome everyone. I've got a bit of an unstable connection. I'm using a backup computer today. So bear with me. We should get all the points covered. So Mr. David, he would want this to be your strong coaching call for the week. For my guys that are joining, consider this a bonus call, but nonetheless, a very strong call for today. There's been a lot of talk in the news media about this recent legislation in the US. I don't know if anyone has heard about it, but it affects, say, the buyers, the litigation, $418 million lawsuit, and how it will affect a lot of realtors in the United States. Has anyone heard about that? I know Matt has.
Yeah, I saw
Jonathan's heard
news.
about
Yeah,
it. Okay.
yeah. It says like
Sean, you've heard about it as well?
the seller won't give the
Yeah.
buyer agent fee, right?
That's right. So I wanted to just address that first of all. It's nothing to be alarmed about. It's actually something that so we've got people that want to join. It's something that is very normal in our industry, and here in Canada, it's actually the same as it's always been. The seller can offer any commission that they like to the buyer's agent, but they don't have to advertise it now. That's the only difference. So now we see it as the 2.5% is there, but it's not seen everywhere, right? It's not going to be seen on MLS when we scroll down to the bottom. So some people are alarmed. What's the impact to this? And this call is not going to be about that. But I wanted to just basically share with you, it's going to be become more and more important that you all brush up on your skills. Okay, specifically your buyer presentation skills. You know that buyer script that Mike Ferry has? You want to pull it out. You want to get familiar with not just having a script, but having a good buyer process. Okay, having a really good buyer process is very important. So I wanted to talk about today so coaching agents are going to become more and more valuable. They're going to coaching clients are going to become worth more in the field. That's you guys. Okay, because why? You're skilled. You're going to have skills that are going to separate you from the competition. Now's not a time to be shy about your skills. Now's the time to be bold and use your skills. So here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about what is going to cause you as an MFO agent to stand out and become more productive than a non-MFO agent. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so the first of all is you obviously have a coach. So if you have a challenge or you have a challenge with the deal, you're going to relay that to your coach and find a solution. Now, your competition doesn't have that, right? Your competition doesn't have a role play group to practice the scripts over and over on a buyer objection or a seller objection. They don't have that. You do. So if you can take advantage and explain that now to a seller, I'm involved in coaching. Here are the reasons why you should hire me. Number one, an MFO agent is more productive because they focus on generating new business every day. Okay, new business every single day. The word rejection doesn't stop them. And MFO agents, like 2 or 3 of you, are hunters. Look at Rimple is dressed to the nines. He just got back from his trip. Jonathan is wheeling out there. He's got the suit on. You guys are hunters. Rejection does not stop you. So what Mike is always saying, grow up and get out there and go. You've been rejected all your life, right? By your spouse, by your siblings, maybe your parents, maybe you have some friends, you want to go out and see a movie. They say, I don't want to see that movie. I know you want to see it, but I don't like that actor. I don't like Tom Cruise. I hate all of his movies. I'm not going to go with you. Rejection, rejection. It's happening all the time. And the what Mike is saying is, since rejection comes with this business, you can get used to it if you do it often enough. You can get used to it if you do it often enough. But here's the other plus side of the rejection is you can also get used to winning every single day. Because for those of you who prospect and you know how the prospecting goes, you can find more opportunities out there than there are rejection to stop you. Am I right? There are more nuts than there are squirrels. So the MFO agent is more productive because they are able to focus on generating new business every single day. Number 2 reasons why an MFO agent is more productive. They do their prospecting early in the day when their energy is high. Right? Coach, when's the best time to prospect? When should I go? The answer is always to start when your energy is highest. When is that? First thing in the day, right? In the US, those agents who are going after expired are starting 7:30 a.m., some of them 7:15 a.m. Okay? They're starting that early because they know their energy level is the highest. They can handle those rejections from the FISBO or the expired really strong if they're coming out after their morning workout or their morning routine. So it's about getting it early, getting it done early as possible in the day. Okay, here's the next point on why MFO agents are more productive. They prospect for appointments, not leads. They prospect for appointments and not leads. See, you're getting paid, guys and gals, for appointments. You're not getting paid for leads. You know, Mike used the example, take your leads to the grocery store or the mall and say to the cashier, listen, this jacket at Harry Rosen is $1,100. I love it. I'm here at the checkout. I don't actually have any money for it. My credit card's maxed, but I have these 2 leads. They're going to do something. They're going to do something soon. They told me. They told me that. So you know what? Why don't I give you their name and their number and you give me the jacket? Because you know they're hot leads. Is anyone going to sell you the $1,100 jacket for the leads? As hot as the lead is. I think we're all laughing because we know the answer to that, right? We know the answer is no, coach. It's an absolute hell no. They're not going to bother with that. So when we look at it that way, you have to realize that when we are out there, just as silly as it is to go actually pay for something at the mall with leads, you have to recognize that's how you're getting paid. You're only paid for a qualified appointment. So start looking at your leads differently. Doesn't matter if they're here or they're sounding good or they're hot. Turn them into an appointment then. Stop carrying around these leads forever and ever. Do you have leads that you're hanging on to for a long period of time? You know, and the way to look at it is the receptionist at the receptionist at the dentist, she gets paid to book appointments. She doesn't get paid to get leads for the dentist. Hey, Dr. Anderson, I have Renee said he might be thinking about doing his teeth in August. He sounds pretty good. I talked to him on the phone. He says that he might call us back, and we're down to he used this before, so he might when he's in the area, he might come by in August sometime, or maybe September. If Dr. Anderson is the dentist, how long is he going to keep that assistant around?
Not long.
Not long, Dr. Anderson. You're right. But what is she getting paid to do? The doctor comes out or the dentist comes out. Okay, how many do we have coming in this afternoon? How many do we have on my schedule? Well, you have Mr. Vinay. He's at 3 p.m. You've got Rimple. He's at 4. Okay, good. He can only get paid on his appointments. If the appointments cancel, that's fine, right? That's part of the game. He's not going to get upset. But if the receptionist at the dentist can book probably 25 appointments today, how can we not book appointments when we're professional salespeople, right? And that's the other thing with this whole new law changing. The industry, it may not even happen, but since it's in the news a lot, I just wanted to address it, is that since the industry doesn't have a great opinion of us as salespeople, do they? In general, no. Matt's saying no, Rimple's saying no, Jonathan is kind of a no. Even we work with the agents all the time, and we're shaking our head. Wow, where did this guy come from? Right? Where did they get their license from? So if the general consensus from the public is that, wow, that industry real estate, I don't know, most of them are part-time, which is a true fact, then if you can demonstrate that you actually are different from the competition, you're going to book a lot more appointments this year.
Hey, Renee.
You're going to, yeah, Matt.
Just quickly, the dentist thing is funny you should bring that up. I just had a dental appointment and they called me 3 or 4 times to confirm because I booked it 4 months ago. They sent me texts, they sent me emails, they sent me a postcard. The follow-up was incredible. And I think thinking and acting like how a dentist runs their business is a really good analogy because they know what they're doing and they do really well.
Matt, that is such a great point. You know, look at other businesses and industries and take a page out of their book. We just closed on a property in Barrie for any of you that live around the GTA, and it's a new construction, and there was some scratches on the wall. So I had to get a painter to come in. And Matt, similar to your dental experience, they first sent me an email. Great. We're going to have a consultant reach out to you to discuss your painting needs. All it was a bloody messed up wall. I just needed to paint it. Well, they had to call. Hi, Renee. Yeah, I'm scheduling some time. I'm busy, man. I'm coaching. Don't you know I can't talk to you? Okay, when are you finished? When can I talk? 4 p.m. I'll call you at 4. He called me right at 4. I have some questions for you about the job at 40 Wagon Lane. Okay. And he started going through qualifying questions for painting a wall. Will anyone be home? Oh, there's not. Is there a lockbox? What's that code number, please? Okay. What color is on the wall right now? Can you send me some photos? Right? Can you get me that by 9 o'clock? Great. You know, what type of wall is it? Is there a staircase? Is there furniture? He asked me a ton of questions to paint the wall. Then when it was booked, he texted me probably immediately, texted me once a week. Someone called to confirm the date and the time again. I must have spoken to them 3 or 4 times in 2 weeks. And when we book an appointment, what happens there? Are we following up like a painter or the dentist? That's a great question. We're out prospecting for appointments, not leads. The next one that MFO agent is stronger than an average is they monitor and track what they do. They monitor and track what they do. So when you're looking at your day, are you tracking? Here's mine. Mike Ferry daily tracking form, right? I've got one here. It's all filled out every single day that I work. It's there. I'm tracking what I do because you can't grow a business without tracking the numbers. Maybe you track your numbers, but you don't track other things. You track how many appointments you might be going on. How can you build a business if you're not even tracking how many people you're selling your services to? Right? Maybe you need to do like Jonathan sends me every week. Now he sends me his goal for the week. I need to go on 1 or 2 or 3 appointments this week. Put them on the wall. Put them on the calendar. Tell your spouse, you know, Thursday, that's my late night, honey. I'm going to be home that night. I'm going to be home when the kids go to sleep. Just that night. The rest of them, I'm going to be home. But that night, I'm going to stack 3 appointments on Thursday. That's an example of monitoring and tracking what you do. Because if being an independent contractor, if you don't monitor and track what you do in this business, by default, you'll end up doing nothing. You'll end up doing nothing. And isn't that the truth? When we don't have a goal for the day and we don't fill it into our schedule, I'm door knocking from 2 to 4. Well, you know what? I know I'm going to door knock. Yeah. Oh, shoot, it's 4 o'clock. I'm at the mall. I'm trying on shirts. And then I'm going to the grocery store because I got to get home. What happened? What happened was, if it's not in the schedule, it doesn't exist in our business because we're independent contractors, okay? The next one, the Mike Ferry agents are tough on pricing and go back to the seller quickly for a price reduction. They're tough on pricing. If we just went through a period last year where all of the listings pretty much needed a price reduction, didn't they? Mike Ferry agents are trained to take the listing, but then have a price reduction system, right? And you can go through scripts with your coach on this. You can go for, dramatic systems. You can use statistics and you can use things. But the average agent, your competition, has no clue what to do after 2 weeks when it doesn't sell. They're not even sleeping at night, some of them. I know. We get the call. The next one, Mike Ferry agents are more productive because they review their business plan on a weekly basis. If you don't have a plan, you have nowhere to go, right? You don't have a plan, you have nowhere to go. We all went through a business plan with our coaches at the beginning of the year. It's starting to become the end of the first quarter. Will you be reading that plan over? Will you be making adjustments to that plan? Maybe you should pull it out this afternoon or tonight when you go home, print it again, look at it. How much have I done? What do I need to do? What do I need to change? What's working? What's not working? That's a real business, right? If you don't review it, you can't even tell where you are. If you don't review the plan, you don't even know where you are. The next one is create a schedule and stick to it 80% of the time. Harry, I'm glad Harry joined the call. Harry sent me on the weekend, I think, or on Friday, a really detailed schedule, powerful, productive schedule. Mike Ferry agents, 90% of the time, Mike says we should be an income producing activity, right? If you're doing 70 deals a year and you're one after the next, you've got 3 on the go all the time. If a deal falls apart, no big deal. No big deal. You're not going to cry over it. You're not going to get emotional. You won't lose sleep. But if you're doing 8 deals a year and you lose 1, you may have to call the shrink. It's that stressful because that just takes, 20% of your income wiped off just like that in 1 deal. But that's a horrible way to live, isn't it, as a realtor? Just in that scarcity of, if I have 8 to 10 deals, going on and I lose 1, my gosh, I'm panicking. There's 20, that's 10% of my income for the year. Whew. But if you can all push yourself to a productive schedule where it's 90% income producing, 10%, 20% income servicing, then guess what? You're going to have more deals. The deals will just come together. And you all know what it's like. For the ones that I'm coaching, you all know what it's like to have 3 or 4 good deals on the go and one falls apart and you don't even sweat it. And we've all been there when maybe we didn't prospect as hard. We didn't follow our schedule. We didn't stick to what we were supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, we only have 3 deals or 2 deals, and then one falls apart. Oh my God. We're complaining. We're crying. We're nervous. So to put yourself out of that, the biggest distraction that you can have is a lack of productivity. Think about it. The biggest distraction is a lack of productivity. And think about it this way. If you're doing 80 deals a year, you're too busy to be distracted. You're too busy to be distracted. You don't have time to be distracted. But if you're not at 80 deals a year or 100 deals a year or 70 deals a year, get busy doing the income producing things now so you don't have time for the distractions, right? Keep up a productive schedule to the point that there's no room for wasted time. There's no room for anything that doesn't make you money. The next thing about, we're talking today about Mike Ferry agents and what makes them more productive than the other agents, okay? The next one is they have high standards for themselves and their business. They have high standards for themselves and their business, okay? An example could be, you know, if I'm meeting 4 to 5 appointments per week, then that's my standard. I need an appointment per day, right? Which if you go, so a lot of you know Milton James. Milton James always says his goal every week is the same. Set 5, go on 4, take 3, and sell 2. That's Milton James' plan every week. Go on 5 appointments, okay, take 4, sell 3, and close on 2. And so you can play around with those numbers. For you, maybe it's I need to go on 3 a week and take 1 and sell 1 every other week. But figure out what that number is for you so that you, when you generate, you don't tolerate. Welcome, Aisha.
Oh,
Welcome to the group.
hi.
We got our group here. Hi. Good to, that's okay. I'm going to send the recording to everyone. That's fine. That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. It's good that you're here. Yeah, you'll like these points. This is another good one. Mike Ferry agents, what makes them more productive? They don't get emotionally involved in their transactions. They don't get emotionally involved. Falling down is a part of life. Getting up is living. Think of that. Falling down is just a part of life. Okay? You've all fallen down a bunch of times when you were learning to walk, as an example. But getting back up is highly recommended, right? We all got back up. We can't think of one of our little kids when they were teaching them to ride the bike. Unfortunately, they fell over, bruised the knees a bunch of times. But getting back up is a part of life. You know, there was a speaker Mike had on stage a few years ago named Rosita, and she had said, quit focusing on the little things. People are like, what? What are the little things? She says, because there's only 2 big things you need to focus on in your life that are important. Being born and then dying. Those are the 2 biggest events in life. Other than that, everything else is a little thing. Okay? So they were talking about you have to live your life. You have to go take chances. You have to be bold, right? And you've heard people, you know, say that Mike always uses that example, you know, looking at your production, why don't you get in a coffin and wait? If you've done nothing for that long, what are you waiting for? It's like you're dead, right? But be alive in your production. If you're going to dress up and suit up today, make something happen. You know, don't get bogged down with contactitis and how many people and all of that. Make something happen in your business today, okay? Instead of telling yourself stories every day why you can't work or why things can't happen, the weather, it's snowing, someone said something bad to me, think about what you can make work. Think about what can happen. And when you think about what can happen, right, think about the possibility of that. Every single person on this call can make a lot of things happen out there. Okay, next one, and there's just a couple left. Mike Ferry agents work to perfect their scripts. Okay, like a football team that's practicing to win the Super Bowl. They keep practicing for hours, 7, 8, 9 hours a day, doing what? Throwing, catching, running, hitting, 4 things. Running plays. But imagine they do all of that practice for that one game at the end of the week on Sunday or Monday, and that's where they get paid $1 million a week. $1 million per game. Many of them get paid. How much money could you make per week if your skills were at the highest level? Right? Because a professional footballer or professional Raptor or, you know, professional Blue Jay, depending on which team you watch or where you watch them, you know, they're practicing all week just to play that one game where they'll make 700, 500, $1 million. Some of them make more if they're like ultra pros. But could you make your 30,000 a week, 40,000 a week if you practiced a lot more during the day? What are the possibilities, right? Perfecting your script. And the last one today, MFO agents have strong accountability in their business. You need strong discipline to have structure. You need strong discipline to have structure. You need it. So, in other words, some of you think accountability, I don't want people to tell me what to do. I don't want to have to stick to this. I want to be free. I want to work whenever I want to work. Well, the truth is that independent contractor status can kill you and kill your production. It's the freedom that you crave is coming by being in shackles with a tight schedule, tight accountability. If you can shackle yourself to a tight productive schedule and live in that tight structure, it will give you the freedom that you want. It will give you the freedom that you want. You know what, honey? I can't. Mondays and Tuesdays, I've got to work late. I got to hit 50 contacts a day to get the week going right. But I tell you, if I do it, I'm taking Friday off. We're going to go to Niagara Falls. We're going to go to Whistler. Really? We're going to spend the night if I do my job. Because if I get a listing taken and I can sell it that week, I might get an extra listing. If I really did a Money Monday on Monday and I did Tuesday all day, we can go to Great Wolf Lodge on Saturday. All of that freedom. Wouldn't that freedom be great? To have the freedom to spend and buy whatever you want for you and your family without looking at the price tag or if that was on sale. But you could do that if you shackled yourself to a really productive schedule. By doing that, hey, you know what? I've got to work my butt off till 4 o'clock every day. I don't have time to play around on social media. I got to get this done. I got to close really hard. So that freedom that you want, it all comes from the structure, discipline. So those are the thoughts. Any questions about any of those today? Anything stuck out at you all? Thank you all for coming. I hope Coach David's coaching clients got something out of it. I hope my crew got something out of it as well. So some of these, what you could do, pick one or two that resonated with you and then kind of implement it. Send me a text or an email, say, hey, Coach, you know, I kind of like this one thing that you said, right? And use that. Because this year, the market is going to go to the professional agent. Finally, the agents are leaving the business. They can't make money, but the professionals are making more money than ever. They're collecting more commissions than ever. The ones in coaching, the ones like yourself on this call today. So for those of you who weren't here, you're obviously not here. I'm going to send the email out. Watch it again if you like while you're driving. Have an awesome, productive rest of the day, guys. Go get them.
Thank you, Renee.
Thanks, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Rimpo. Awesome.
Thank you.